Hey there, guys. Welcome to Social Studies today. So, in our social studies, we're learning about rights and responsibilities of being a citizen. And there's actually quite a few of them, believe it or not, that just by being in America, we have a responsibility as a person to our communities and to our societies to make sure they're running well and that we have input that we want to give to like our people who represent us in government, such as our representatives, our senators, our there's a bunch of people, mayors, governors, and so on. Those people need to know what we think so that they can stand for what we believe in when they vote in the government for laws that we all have to follow. So, the first part of the social studies newspaper is for week 17, citizens have responsibilities. So I'm going to just go through it kind of quickly and pick out the important details. You can listen to it at socialstudiesweekly.com. I can turn the quizzes on for you. You could take them and test yourself. You can do the crossword puzzles. There's lots of stuff to do in there. But in a democracy, citizens have the right and responsibility to participate in their own government. They do that by voting and being personally and civically responsible. What does that mean? Well, that's exactly what I thought. If you are personally responsible, it means you take responsibility for yourself, how you behave, what you do, the choices that you make. It also means that you take responsibility for your family and your community. That means that as a student, you do your very best at school so you can take advantage of the great educational opportunities that we have in our country. Because as you know, in some places, people don't get to go to school. And as we can see now, us not being able to go to school, how important school really is and how much you're really learning when you are there. It often starts with your civic responsibility, often starts with voting. Okay. It means you obey the law and respect the rights of others. Civic responsibility also means you work for the common good by doing things that help everyone in your community. And right now we see a lot of people helping each other. You could see how socially responsible we're being by keeping that distance from each other, that 6 feet distance, to make sure that we stay healthy and keep our hands washed and don't share our germs right now. Those are our responsibilities currently as citizens here in Ohio. You need to make your voice heard, so you can write letters to your governors, you can call them, you can start petitions and get people to sign them about something you believe in that should be a law. We have lots and lots of those. Right now I saw a petition going around for there to be one client at a time allowed for hair stylists so that people who own salons and nails and things like that can still work, because that's a livelihood of so many people here in our community. As we know, we should be able to get our hair done, we should be able to get our nails done, and to say that that's not important is a judgment that our government's making that we should stand up for as a people, and these people have a right to work. So it is important, it is a livelihood. And a lot of people feel very uncomfortable when their hair is not done honestly, and their nails. So I may not do my nails, but I do like to have my hair cut, and I'm sure everybody else likes to have their hair done. So it'd be nice if people could get a petition signed to get our governors here in Cleveland to listen to the fact that we need these people to be able to get their hair done. Anyways, okay, I digress. Back to this. So that's one of the things you can do to make your voice heard is petitioning and electronic even. We have civic organizations that we call them. They're civic and service organizations. Those are things that work for the common good that help everyone in the community. And right now we're seeing a lot of civic organizations here in our community. My puppy's playing with me. We see a lot of civic organizations in our community here, like the hospitals, the paramedics people, our police officers, the YMCA, cancer societies, like things that help people basically in lots of different ways. You can also volunteer. There's a lot of volunteering going on right now. I'm going to be volunteering hopefully to give out computers for Adelaide Stevenson. Remember, if you want a computer, you got to follow the directions on the homepage that I have here in our class stories. It's a link to the survey you have to fill out. There's only 100, so it's first come, first serve. I hope, I sent out a message to everyone in a text. Hopefully everyone's parents, if you need one, signed up for that. And I might volunteer and pass those out. So volunteering is a good way to be a part of your community and help in the best ways you can. Some people right now are volunteering to make masks, and they're sewing them for people. And even Miss Basone actually sewed me a mask that I have. It's actually pretty cool. All right, so the second part of the newspaper here is still continuing to talk about your citizens' rights and responsibilities. This is really small and difficult to read, so please go on socialstudiesweekly.com to listen to these articles. It will just read to you. You just follow along. One thing I like about when someone reads to me and I follow along is I'm really able to underline things that are important, not just words I hear, but things that are like big concepts. Like my first sentence when it talks about in return for living in the United States, we have certain responsibilities we have to fulfill. Do you know what a responsibility is? So I can tell already that this whole part of this paragraph or whatever is going to be about responsibility, because it's said it a few times. It's asking me questions. It's making me think about it. So think about the word as two parts: response and able. That's kind of cool. They even have it written out. They have the two words: response plus able. First, response means an answer, like a word or an action. Able means you can do something. You put them together and you have responsible. Well, first you change the A to an I for the correct spelling. This means you're able to answer by speaking or taking action. Even children in our country are able to take action and be responsible for important things. So our responsibilities are also like our duties. They're like the things that we have to do, like things we have to do at home. Sometimes helping with dinner or with your brothers and sisters. Maybe it's helping to take out the garbage or do some laundry or clean up your room, maybe help do the dishes. Another responsibility that we have, besides just to our, moms and dads in our home, is to our schools. When we're in school, being responsible means that we're taking care of our school. That's like a place of education for all the children to come, not just you. You're just lucky enough to be there at that time and experience that great thing that we have called school, where we get to come and learn, and there are people to take care of you there. So we're responsible to take care of our schools too, and our neighborhoods. When we walk around, we don't want to throw garbage. We don't want to have bad behavior in our neighborhoods that makes us feel uncomfortable. Like, we want to feel safe. So we're responsible for how we act in our neighborhoods and how we treat other people in our neighborhoods. One of the important things that come with that is respecting the law, which sometimes, the law can seem like it's unjust and stuff. However, if the law wasn't there, we'd have a very chaotic society. We need to have some sort of laws there that kind of judge and keep us like boundaries to tell us how to treat each other. And there need to be consequences for people who break those boundaries in such a way that hurts other people. So if we respect the law, we understand that as a citizen, we don't hurt others to get things. We don't take others from things. So we're responsible to respect our laws and uphold them to make sure they are just. And when they're not just, we're to fight and let our voices be heard when laws or when anything that laws are just unjust. So we should always fight for just laws. And then we also have to pay our taxes. Now, I hear a lot of people complain about taxes. They'll be like, I don't want to pay my taxes. Taxes are taking money out of my check. I want that money. But those taxes actually pay for so much. Okay, everybody here lives here in our city. Everybody here drives on our roads. Everybody needs a hospital when they're sick. Everyone needs a police officer or a fire department or a paramedic to come to their house if something happens. Everyone needs a school to go to school in. These are things that don't just happen. We have to pay for them, and our taxes are paying for that. And that is like one of the best things about the power of our taxes and our money is if we're doing that, we need to also be using our voice to stand up for what we believe in with our government. So if things are happening that we don't think are just, we shouldn't just sit and complain about it. We should voice ourselves and do that either through media such as this, starting a petition, like I said before. That's our right. We have rights as citizens to fight for what we believe in, which is one of the best things about America. And we shouldn't be getting in trouble for it. You know, we should be allowed to protest things and stand up for our personal beliefs and our rights, especially when it comes to how law is affecting our communities. So we should always stand up for what we think is right. That's, you got to like protect your rights. That's what it is. Like, you don't want to give your rights away. Like, you don't want the government to take your right to like speak away. Even if the thing someone says isn't nice, it's their right to be able to say whatever they want, because words are words. They don't matter in the sense that as actions do. But if you're saying things that, you know, are not nice, that just like you're a bad person. Like, and if we have like, you know, Trump in office, for example, a lot of people think he says a lot of really bad things and we don't like that, then we need to vote not for him. So it's just as a decision. I don't know. Anyways, protecting your rights is important. This is really hard without you guys. I really wish you were here to interact with me, because, you know, usually I have think time and you're interacting with me, and most of the time you're talking and I do a lot of listening. Right now, like this, I just have to do a lot of talking. It's a little weird, but you can always rewind me or fast forward me. Just make sure you go through it and just know your rights and responsibilities as a citizen, voting, taking care of your community, following the laws, making your voice heard, and protecting your rights. And that is what your social studies is all about. So being a good citizen, word scramble. This is actually not too difficult. There's some words in bold black, which is very dark. For example, it says paying your XTASE. It's not a word. Is an example of being a good citizen. So I have to figure out what this word, let me see if I can get it up here. There it is. I have to figure out what that word is. Well, I've been reading a lot about paying taxes, and this has the word TAX in it. So TAX is tax, so it would become taxes. Now, if I plug the word in, it says paying your taxes is an example of being a good citizen. And yes, that is an example of being a good citizen, so we know that's right. And it used all those letters that were mixed up and no other ones. I'll do number 2, okay? A good citizen will serve on a blank if they are asked. And that was something I didn't mention to you. That's actually in this article. One of the things it talks about is serving on a jury. A jury means that you ever hear someone be like, oh no, I got called to jury. Jury, you're required by law. If you get summoned to jury, you have to go to court to be on a jury, to judge trial, like for trials, like, and listen to a trial. And they interview you and see if they want you on the jury or not. And if they want you, you have to stay and go, and you can't go to work. Like, you're not allowed to not go do jury duty, and they don't pay you for it. They don't pay you for it. And luckily, like as a school teacher, some jobs do let you take time off and use like sick leave or other things to pay you during that time, so you don't lose money. But some people don't have that luxury. Like, they might work at Burger King, and Burger King's like, oh, you can't come to your job for 4 days, you just don't get paid. So that really, you know, you want to hope you have like some sick time or something built up at Burger King. I don't even know. So jury duty is something you have to do. And I remember I had to go sit in a jury, like, to get interviewed one time. And when I lived in Oregon, it's only happened to me once. I've only been summoned one time my whole life, and I'm 40. So that's pretty good. Some people have been summoned lots of times. But everyone gets summoned at some point. So you will too, because you're a citizen in the United States, and that's actually one of your responsibilities. So number 2 is UJYR. Well, obviously we know that's not a word, but one of the responsibilities that you have is that you have to serve on a jury. JURY. Okay? And then 3 says good citizens always make sure to blank in each election. And I guarantee you, you could tell me number 3. Okay? So just go through, and if you have any difficulty with any of these ones in particular and you can't figure it out, let me know. I'll help you out. Just, message me. Part 2 says, it's actually kind of cool. It says, we live in a great country, one that provides us with many rights. We have the right to practice any religion or no religion, to say most anything that we want to, and to express ourselves in different ways. That's our right. But as citizens of the United States, we also have important responsibilities. These are things we are expected but not required to do. See if you have what it takes to be a responsible citizen. So, what that means is we're expected to be a certain way, but we're not required to do it. No one's making us do anything. We choose to do them or not do them. So, these are some situations where you can analyze what kind of citizen are you going to be. Number 1 said you find $20 on the ground just outside the main entrance of the grocery store. You decide to 1, keep it, finders keepers. 2, leave it, it's not yours. Or 3, bring it to the store manager. So which one of those things would you actually do? And be honest to yourself. You don't have to tell me. Some people would just keep the money. I mean, that's not responsible, obviously, because it is kind of like, it's kind of shady, and you want to be a good citizen, not a shady citizen. I'd rather know an honest person than a dishonest person. But yeah, I would take it to a store manager for sure. What if it was somebody's rent money or somebody's like electric bill money and they came back looking for it and the manager actually had it and they had their money back, and how that could help them or their family. So that money you find sometimes, it's like lucky to find money, but it's not lucky when it's something you could be responsible for and not hurt another person. If you need something, there's ways to get things. If you ever need help, you should always reach out. And if you guys ever need help, you just let me know, and we have lots of stuff we can help you with. So if you just go through there, you want to circle which one you would do, okay? So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 situations, and I think they're pretty interesting. It'd be really kind of cool if you picked one of those situations, any 5 of them, and kind of analyzed it and thought about it. And then if you wrote me an email telling me about what you would do. Or, you know what, even better, when we Zoom, you can share. We can share like what it is we were going to do. So maybe we'll do this one together. All right, guys. Well, I've been on here a long time, like 17 minutes. I'm sure you're tired of hearing me. I'll be impressed if you sat through it. You're pretty awesome. Have a great time. I hope to see you soon, and I will talk to you later. Be responsible citizens. Excuse me. Be responsible citizens. Say goodnight to Zuko. Bye, Zuko.